You're probably wondering, why am I looking at a giant floating head? I really do not have an answer for you, because I don't even know where I found this. I was just going through my files, I was looking for something to put as the background, and this popped up. And it's gonna be used, because I think it looks cute. Not even cute, I take that back. It looks like something, okay? So I watched Whiplash for the first time about 4 days ago. Gotta say, it was a solid 8 out of... Nah, I won't even say that. I feel like if I continue to give movies 8s out of 10s, it's gonna like get a little to the point where it's like, maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about. And maybe you're correct. I won't even say that I like movies so much that I give them really high ratings. I think it's the fact that when I first watched the movie, I think that it's really good. And then I watch it again and again and again and again until I get old or tired. Or both. Maybe it's a mixture of like when I see it for like the 4th time that day and I'm sitting there staring at the screen with my eyes reddening and no food in my system, that I start to realize maybe I don't like this movie as much as I thought I did when I first watched it. Or maybe it's a mental thing. I don't know. This was not a bad movie. It was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I watched it 4 times in one day. I don't know how I did that, but I managed to. And after watching it for the 4th time, I started to realize that maybe this was one of my top 5 of all times. And I've seen a lot of movies. A lot. And I've hated a lot of movies. But I've also enjoyed a good handful of movies. But this one just struck a nerve with me. It stuck with me a little more than most movies ever have. Or at least the ones that I've seen in the past few years have. I want to say it's because I found myself somewhat in love with music. Or maybe it's because I've been around music basically my entire middle school and high school career. I personally think that music speaks to us in a way that languages and sometimes even words can't exactly express the way we feel. Instruments can sometimes be a better instrument to speak through. Did I just say instruments and use it in 2 different contexts? Is that the definition of, what's the word? Rigor That's not it. That's wrong. Music is a therapy to most people, I'll say. It definitely helps a lot. It can bring you closer to things in life or whatever that weird emotional stuff is. And this movie kind of shows us how music can be somebody's entire life. I mean, Terrence Fletcher's entire life is built around music and demeaning his children. But more so, you know... Okay, I got scared for a second. Fletcher had to be one of the most well-rounded characters inside of the entire movie. From his angry outbursts to his witty comments on everything, I think that he was one of the most entertaining characters out of all of them because he had the most personality. Andrew didn't really have a personality throughout the movie. He was kind of just kind of there. Now, I say that to say that he wasn't a bad protagonist. He just wasn't the best, I would say. He definitely had his moments where I would think that he would shine, but he's just so bland. Like, he just doesn't really have an attitude. His main character thing is that he gets angry and does stupid stuff. That's really it. Or he doesn't think before he does stuff. Like when he cuts out the girl that he was dating, which played oh my gosh, let's talk about that. Hold on. Wait. Everybody stop. The subplot in between Andrew and the girlfriend, whose name I keep forgetting because I simply do not care enough to remember, is one of the dumbest plots of the movie. It is the dumbest plot of the movie because it serves no purpose whatsoever. I literally have no recognition to why that thing even existed. She did nothing throughout the entire movie. She didn't ground him. She didn't do anything. I mean, the first scene with them on the date was pretty good. I'll say that. It was entertaining. I'd watch it. You know, I feel like it was really good chemistry in between Andrew and the girl. But other than that, she didn't serve a purpose at all. She did nothing. She appears like twice after that. And the second time that she appears after that is through a phone call. Andrew's father is also one of the worst characters in the movie. He doesn't do anything either. He's worse than the girlfriend. I mean, he's a push around. He just exists. Like, at the dinner table. I don't know what he said to Andrew that made him walk away. Maybe I have to go and rewatch it. I think I'm gonna go and rewatch that scene tonight. But whatever he did, I don't understand. I see that his father doesn't really support his dreams of becoming like this musician or whatever. That's fine. Then he turns around at the end of the movie, comes to his performance, and all of a sudden he's supporting Andrew. I'm not very clear on what his dad's stance is with him. Does he want him to be a musician? Or does he want him to do something else with his life? He doesn't really make it abundantly clear throughout the movie, and I think that that's one of the things that his character lacks, is where he actually stands with Andrew and Andrew's life choices. Maybe if they had made it a little bit more clearer on what he really wanted, he'd be a better, well-rounded character. And even then, he's still not well-rounded because he doesn't really serve a purpose. I feel as if a lot of characters don't serve an exact purpose in this movie. Not saying that any of these characters are bad, it's just that they're there just to be there. The one person who never shows up in the movie, but actually holds a lot of weight in this movie, is Sean Casey. Sean was a former student of Fletcher's who ended up, in Fletcher's words at least, dying in a car crash a few days after, a few days before their big competition. In reality, Sean Casey killed himself in his apartment due to emotional trauma caused by Fletcher. The fact that Fletcher would even lie to his students about that makes me feel as if he is an untrustworthy character, and he proves that throughout the movie, where he doesn't actually ever admit to being the reason that he or some of his students fall into depression, or some of his students have self-esteem issues. He always says that if they can't handle it, it's because they weren't meant to, or something along that lines. And really looking at it, does that really sound like somebody would want to be around? Yes, Fletcher was a good character, but that doesn't stop the fact that he was also a very narcissistic person who fed off the fact that people feared him, or people were scared of what he would say to them, because he spoke in a very unmild tongue. He was very brash, harsh, I would say. He did not care about what you thought about what he had to say, because regardless, he was going to speak his mind. And that made him a character that was, although well respected, very much a not likable character. Nevertheless, the movie is still a good watch. I definitely recommend for anybody who likes music, likes to learn about the backstory of people who get into music, or like to see what it's like to be a musician. I definitely suggest that you watch this film. It's pretty good. Even though we have a lot of one-dimensional characters inside of the movie, that shouldn't stop you from watching it, because those one-dimensional characters, some of them at least, make the movie better than what it would be with the more fleshed out characters. Oh, so I forgot to tell you guys about the schedule. Alright, so here's the plan. We're gonna upload a video at the first of each month and at the end of each month. I'm not saying the first day of the month, but it's going to be around that time at least. So within the first 2 weeks of a month, we'll upload that video for the month, and then at the end of the month we'll upload another video. Yeah, that sounds pretty good, and hopefully that keeps me going for the next few months. I have at least, like, I would say 20 films to cover, and that doesn't count the video essays. Most of these are just going to be reviews at first, and then we'll go back and actually do video essays on the actual movies, which will be a lot longer. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, whatever, share, all that weird stuff that they talk about at the end of their videos. I'll see you guys later.